Tea all began on what seemed like an ordinary morning, but in the eyes of nature, that morning was anything but ordinary, silent, mysterious, and laced with the unknown. The jungle felt like it was asleep. The soft sunlight trickled through the leaves, scattering gently across the forest floor. There was a coolness in the air, and an eerie calm hung over everything. The branches of tall trees swayed gently, as if whispering ancient secrets. Far away, birds were chirping, unaware of the danger slowly approaching, and across the land, an emptiness stretched quietly. But within that silence, something extraordinary was about to unfold. A mother's beloved child, a helpless, innocent baby, had somehow found his way into this wild forest, led here by the strange hands of fate. There was no one with him, no shelter, no protection. And then everything changed. Peace be upon you, dear viewers. Before we begin this incredible true story, a small request. If you enjoy our videos, please like, subscribe, and don't forget to press the bell icon so you never miss an update from us. Your support truly means the world to us. The jungle was quiet, but beneath that silence, something was stirring, something that sent a ripple of tension through the air. Suddenly, from the dense bushes, 2 leopards emerged. Their movements were slow but deliberate, like shadows sliding across the forest floor. Their eyes gleamed with a sharp, hunting focus, locked on a single target. These were no ordinary animals. They were the kings of this wild kingdom, silent, powerful, and deadly, masters of patience and precision. The leopards knew exactly what they wanted, and they moved with the calm confidence of true predators. In the middle of the jungle, completely unaware, lay the baby, small, vulnerable, defenseless. The leopards crept closer, their bodies low to the ground, muscles ready to spring. There was a strange stillness now, as if the whole forest was holding its breath, waiting. The baby's soft cries faded into the background, drowned out by the heavy footsteps of the approaching danger. It was a moment frozen in time, a moment between life and death. No one was there to protect the child. No one was coming. The leopard saw only weakness and opportunity. Yet, just as the darkness seemed about to close in, the jungle whispered a secret. Sometimes, the most unlikely heroes arrive when you least expect them. Just when it seemed that the baby's fate was sealed, a sudden roar shattered the stillness of the forest. High above, on the twisting branches of the tall trees, a group of macaque monkeys stirred into action. Their eyes flashed with alarm, and their voices rose in a loud, urgent chorus. The monkeys chattered and screamed, their shrill cries cutting to the heavy air like sharp knives. It was as if the entire forest had awakened to defend the helpless child below. They threw down twigs, stones, and anything they'd grab, making a wild, chaotic noise to drive the leopards away. Their small bodies moved with lightning speed, jumping from branch to branch, fearless and determined. Though they were tiny compared to powerful leopards, their courage was immense, and their message clear. This baby is under our protection. The leopards froze for a moment, caught off guard by the unexpected attack. They snarled in frustration, their eyes narrowing as the monkeys closed in, their loud cries echoing around the jungle like thunder. For a moment, it seemed the leopards might charge. But the macaques' relentless noise, their fearless movements, and their united front overwhelmed the hunters' confidence. The jungle was alive with tension, a battle not just for survival, but for the very soul of this fragile life. Who would win? The silent killers of the night, or these brave defenders who dare to stand in their way? And in that moment, the jungle whispered a secret. Sometimes the smallest creatures show the greatest bravery. Sometimes hope comes in the most unexpected forms. Just when it seemed the leopards had the upper hand, the forest exploded with sudden chaos. The brave macaque monkeys attacked with a wild energy that no one expected. Their voices rose into a fierce, unrelenting roar, echoing to the trees like thunder. They didn't hesitate for a single moment. With swift and fearless leaps, they launched themselves from the branches, hurling stones and sticks at the leopards. Each sharp crack of wood and thud of stone struck like a warning, a message that this baby was not alone. One particularly bold monkey made a daring move. With incredible speed, it jumped on the back of the nearest leopard, gripping its fur tightly. refusing to let go. The leopard growled fiercely, trying to shake off the tiny attacker, but the monkey held firm, its eyes blazing with determination. The jungle was now alive with the sound of fierce battle, growls and snarls clashing against sharp monkey cries. The leopards, used to silence and stealth, were overwhelmed by the sudden uproar. Confused and angered, they snapped and snarled, but the relentless attack kept coming. Step by step, the leopards started to lose their nerve. Their eyes darted around, searching for escape. The monkeys' fearless defense had turned the tables. What looked like certain doom just moments ago was now a fight the leopards could not win. Meanwhile, the baby, wrapped tightly in a cloth, lay still and unaware of the danger that had passed so close. It was as if fate itself had sent these small heroes to protect this tiny life. This was more than just a rescue. It was a battle of courage and will, a reminder that sometimes even the smallest warriors can change the course of destiny. The forest held its breath as the leopards, frustrated and beaten back, melted silently into the shadows of the dense trees. Their fierce eyes still burned with anger, but the unexpected courage of the tiny macaque army left no room for hesitation. They disappeared like ghosts, defeated for now. A heavy silence settled over the jungle. Not the cold silence of fear, but the warm silence of survival and hope. Slowly, the brave macaques gathered close, their chatter softening into gentle whispers. They surrounded the small, fragile baby lying helplessly on the ground. Two of the monkeys moved forward with careful steps. One monkey, with surprising tenderness, reached down and cradled the infant wrapped in the soft cloth. The baby's tiny fingers curled instinctively around a monkey's fur, as if sensing protection offered by these unlikely guardians. The other macaque stood alert nearby, eyes scanning the forest for any sign of returning danger. The jungle seemed to watch silently, as if honoring this unlikely moment of courage and care. This was not just an act of survival, it was a promise from the wild that even the smallest creatures can become heroes. That sometimes courage does not roar, but whispers softly through brave hearts. The baby, once alone and lost, now had protectors, fierce, loyal, and ready to face any challenge. The forest echoed with a quiet celebration, knowing that life had won and hope was alive. In the heart of the wild, a bond had formed, a bond between the helpless and the fearless, between innocence and bravery. The morning sun began to pierce through the thick leaves, casting long golden fingers over the jungle floor. The forest seemed calm, but beneath the quiet surface, tension still lingered like a shadow that would not disappear. The brave macaques moved cautiously, carrying the tiny baby with the utmost care. Every step was measured, every branch carefully chosen. It was as if they understood the fragile treasure they held, a little life so small, so vulnerable, yet so precious. The baby's cries had softened, replaced by peaceful breathing, but the jungle's dangers had not gone away. The monkey's eyes darted nervously, scanning every rustle, every flicker in the undergrowth. They were alert, ready to leap at the first sign of trouble. Suddenly, a sharp crack echoed through the trees, a sound too close, too deliberate. The group froze. Heartbeats quickened. Every monkey's gaze locked on the source of the noise. Was it another predator, a rival group, or something even more dangerous lurking in the shadows? For a moment, time seemed to stop. The baby's tiny eyes fluttered open, blinking at the dappled sunlight filtering through the leaves. Innocent and unaware of the danger so near. The monkeys tightened their circle, their chattering turning into urgent whispers. They knew this journey was far from over. Danger was still near, but so was hope. In this jungle, survival was a story written in moments of courage and fear, and every heartbeat mattered. Would the macaques protect the baby long enough to lead him to safety? The answer lay hidden among the trees, waiting to be revealed. The jungle was alive with tension, every leaf trembling under the weight of fear and courage. The baby's soft breaths were like a gentle promise amidst the wild chaos. Around him, the brave macaques stood like fearless guardians, their eyes sharp and full of determination. Suddenly, a deep growl tore through the silence, low, dark, and filled with menace. The leopards had returned, their hunger and anger burning brighter than ever. Their muscles tensed, ready to strike, their eyes fixed on their prey. But the macaques were no longer alone. From the dense forest, more monkeys came rushing in, their cries piercing the air like war drums. Their numbers grew with every passing second, a fierce and fearless army united to protect the helpless child. The battle erupted with wild energy. Screeches and growls clashed in a chaotic symphony of survival. Branches snapped, leaves flew, and the ground shook with the struggle between the hunters and the defenders. Amid the storm of claws and cries, the baby remained cradled safely, untouched by the danger swirling around him. His fragile life was now protected by the courage of the smallest creatures, whose bravery defied all odds. The jungle had become a battlefield where courage and love fought side by side. And in that fierce fight, hope glowed brightest. Would the macaques' bravery be enough to keep the baby safe? Only time would tell. But one thing was certain. In the heart of the wild, even the smallest voices could roar the loudest. The jungle was alive with chaos. Every screech, every growl, every crashing branch told a story of a fierce battle. The macaques were everywhere, leaping, shouting, throwing stones and sticks with fearless determination. Their small bodies moved like flashes of lightning, fast and unpredictable. The leopards lunged forward, their sharp claws slicing through the air, their teeth bared in fierce snarls. Yet, the monkeys refused to back down. They fought with everything they had, their cries echoing like thunder across the forest. In the middle of this storm of fury, the baby lay curled up, wrapped safely in soft cloth. His tiny chest rose and fell gently with each breath, innocent and unaware of the life or death struggle raging just steps away. Then, a sudden sharp call pierced the air, the leader macaque signal. From the depths of the forest, more monkeys rushed in, their numbers swelling like a rising tide. They joined the fight, their fierce cries blending into a powerful chorus of bravery. The leopards snarled, confused and overwhelmed. Outnumbered and outmatched, their sharp eyes darted anxiously. One by one, they began to retreat, slipping back into the shadows of the jungle, defeated but still dangerous. Silence slowly fell over the forest. The battle was over, but the echoes of courage and hope lingered in the air. The baby, safe and unharmed, was cradled gently by the brave macaques who had risked everything. In the heart of the wild, a lesson was written. Sometimes, the smallest voices carry the greatest power. And sometimes, hope comes from the most unexpected heroes. The jungle was slowly calming down, but the air was still thick with the tension of what had just passed. The fierce battle had ended. But the echoes of growls and screeches still seemed to linger like ghosts among the trees. The brave macaques gathered closely around the tiny baby, their eyes sharp and full of a mixture of pride, relief, and determination. The baby stirred softly, his small fingers reaching out and curling gently around the soft fur of the monkey holding him. In that quiet moment, there was a powerful silence, a silence filled with hope, survival, and the unspoken promise of protection. It was as if the whole jungle was holding its breath, waiting for what would come next. But even as the sun rose higher and cast warm light through the leaves, the journey was far from over. The forest was vast, full of unseen dangers and mysterious paths. The macaques knew this was only the beginning. Their task was clear: to find a safe haven for the baby, a place where he could grow strong and safe under their watchful eyes. Every step they took was careful, every glance alert. The jungle was both their home and their battlefield. With every move, the tension grew. Who else might be watching from the shadows? What other dangers lurked beyond the trees? The macaques' fierce loyalty would be tested again. As they moved deeper into the forest, the baby's soft coos filled the air, a delicate sound like a promise of new life, new hope. The macaques carried him with pride and care, ready to face whatever came next. In this vast, wild jungle, a story had been written, a story of courage, protection, and unexpected heroes. It was a story that showed even the smallest creatures could have the biggest hearts. And as the jungle whispered its ancient secrets, one thing was clear: hope had found a home. If you enjoyed this incredible story of courage and friendship, please don't forget to like, comment, and share it with your friends and family. Your support means the world and helps us bring more amazing stories like this to you. Thank you for watching.